Happy Monday. Oh, has it been a Monday for me so far? I don't know. Is my hair, it's almost dry. I literally just got to pop into the shower like 20 minutes before showtime. For those who follow me on Facebook, you may know that my air conditioner broke yesterday evening, late afternoon evening, which means my house is like a sauna right now. Because, well, it's not too bad in Vegas. It's only 104, excuse me. I'm looking at my little weather thing. But it's hot. And I just got back from Home Depot and bought some portable coolers. We just got those set up, hoping that they get things calmed down in here soon. But it's been a Monday. It's been a Monday. But here we are. And for the next hour, I'm going to forget about all of that crapola going on. How is everyone? So happy to have you here. We are going to talk about marketing, because it's no longer just the days where it's good enough to just list your stuff and then wait for it to sell. To really rock and roll your business, you have to do some marketing. And we use social media for that. So there's social media platforms. There's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. What am I forgetting? YouTube. YouTube is a social media platform, by the way. So it's another good, we'll talk about different ways you can use YouTube. But I have someone very special here to help me talk about this today, who's kind of an aficionado in marketing, especially social media marketing. Some of you may know her. It's Jordan. You're sitting so far away. You make my head look big.
No, I'm sitting on my couch because I felt like I needed a change of scenery because my office gets very hot. I don't have AC at all, so.
But you do live in San Diego. You have ocean breeze, so.
Yeah, I can literally see the ocean from my couch right here. So
I know you can. I need to come back out there.
You do.
I could be there in 5 hours.
You could, and I do have a portable air conditioning unit here. So just pack up the car and get down here.
Anyway, but it's my animals. You know, if it was just me, I wouldn't stress so much. It is that I can't call guinea pigs.
I know that they are a little wild sometimes, but we are humans, Mom.
Guinea pigs, birds, and dogs don't pack up and go to a hotel room with air conditioning well. And I can't pack up my whole business and go to a hotel room. So it's like, can't really pack up and go to a hotel room. So you just got to tough it out. See, I'm sweating. Maybe glistening through this thing. Anyway, oh yeah, you guys just reminded me, TikTok's another, that's like the newest social media on the scene. So let's just kind of jump into some of the very, very obvious ones. So you have an eBay store. I have preached the benefits of having an eBay store over and above just the savings and fees. A lot of people look at it as just, well, when you're selling this much, then it makes sense to have an eBay store. And my whole premise is if you're serious about making this a business, that eBay store is your brand. It's your ability to create something that you can then use social media to do marketing with. So I think a store is super important right from the start. And literally a starter store is like, it's $6 a month. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't looked at the fees in a long time. $6 a month if you don't commit to the annual plan. If you commit to the annual, it's $5 a month. It's $5 a month to be able to organize your business, name your business in such a way that you can attract people to come shop from you. And so it's $5 a month, guys. Like there should be, that's a decision that should be a no-brainer. As far as I'm concerned, the benefits of having a store, $5 a month. And then start looking, then it becomes fee-based. Then it's like, okay, now I'm ready to bump up to this next level, which is like $30 a month, I want to say. It's like 20, maybe it's like 26 to have that for one of my accounts. And with that, so figure it's like $26 a month, but they also give you a $25 quarterly coupon for shipping supplies. So really, it's like buy 2 months, get one free kind of a deal. And then over that, it's like $50 a month, and you get a $50 coupon. So it's super worth it. It's super worth it. $21.95. It's even cheaper than I thought. $21.95. So there you go. All right. So first things first, you want your eBay store. Jordan, can we talk a little bit from your perspective about naming that store, about creating that brand around whatever type of niche and product a person is going to get into?
So a big misconception about marketing is it's just what other people see. You know, it's your advertisements, it's the pictures you're posting on social media, but really it encompasses so many integral parts of your business, and maintaining that integrity throughout everything that you're doing is vital for success. So let's say, you know, let's look at, I don't know, Forever 21, right? You know what you're going to see when you get to the store. You know, kind of the demographic that it's appealing to. It creates a community of those individuals. So what you want to do is not only pick a name that will showcase what you're selling and what people will find, but that can be transparent throughout all of your marketing and continue that story. Mom, I'm hearing feedback and it's tripping me out.
You're hearing feedback on mine? That's because I have my volume up so I can hear you. Because I have coolers and fans blowing all over the place. Can you guys are hearing it too. All right. I'm not sure what to do about that.
Do you have headphones?
I do not. All right. I'm going to turn it down a little and see if that helps. Yeah, so I see one of the mistakes I see people make when they're naming their store is running all the words together. Like you have this really cool name picked out, and then you put all the words like a run-on sentence. Not even like run-on sentence, it just means word. No, it's like, it's all clump. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
So it's either got to be super quick and easy to remember, or it's got to be identifying. So like Target. Everybody knows Target, and it's not because, you know, their name is so brilliant that people just recognize it. It's because they branded themselves as the place where you're going to find everything. And it's easy, short, quick to remember. Walmart, things that flow off the tongue easily. And then there's made up names like Google or Bing or
Amazon.
Amazon, that don't really make any sense at all, but if you market it correctly, people will start to recognize what the purpose behind the name is.
Exactly. So that's like number one. Make sure that your store name is something that people can search for, something that people can remember. So if you're going to do, let's say, I'm just going to throw this out, like if you're Glass and More, don't spell it like Glass and More all one word. You need all three words. And then make sure you're selling glass. So that's the next thing. And I just realized, stand by. Let's take that little thing off of there.
Hold on, wait a second. Why don't we talk about your store? Because your store is utterly good stuff.
Yeah, which
doesn't make sense with anything that you're selling, because you would assume that it's just a bunch of cow stuff. But because you've had the brand for so long, and because it tells the story of where you came from, that's why it makes sense. So people, does anybody know in the comments why it was originally called Utterly Good Stuff?
Ooh, let's see who's been following me for a while. Because I have told this story many times of why I named it Utterly Good Stuff.
This is one of the key points of, so you have that name, you got to stick to it. And that's your story that you're selling and sharing over social media to people to stick with the community behind why they purchase from you.
Yes. And Susan Smith just says, oh, I need to fix my store. Southern Yankee Thrifter. Exactly. You've got that all. So somebody remembers that you're Southern Yankee Thrifter and they go search for that. They're not going to find you because Google thinks that Southern Yankee Thrifter is all one word. So they're not going to see it as those three separate words.
And also just looking at that, reading it on, when you get when I get my package from you, like looking at that name hurts my eyes and I can't read it like that. So getting a return buyer is going to be difficult as well because you need a easy digestible name.
Yeah. So let's see, Paula, Deb, Elizabeth. Okay, some of you have been paying attention. I raised goats. I raised goats, but I figured nobody would associate udders with a goat as the branding. But then I had a grandmother who collected cows. So I did the actual elements of the branding around the cow theme because of my grandmother. But the utterly good stuff name came because of my raising goats. I raised dairy goats. So some of you guys got it. Yeah.
Did Mimi collect cows or did people assume she collected cows and just started giving her cows and her house filled up with them? Because I'm pretty sure she only collected Hummels.
Oh, well, but her house was filled with cows. It was that she worked at the Alpha Beta bakery / dairy department at the warehouse, and Mimi was her name. She was the type of person who never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. Someone gave her a cow figurine because of working in the dairy cow. So she prominently displayed that cow up on her, I don't know what you call that. It was like an opening between the dining room and the living room, but it was a big, like a shelf. And that cow sat there so everybody would come over and see she had this cow lovingly put out on the shelf. And then they started giving her cows. And she could never explain to people, I'm not really a cow person. So pretty much her whole house was cows because that's what we all knew her for, gave her as gifts.
I wonder if she secretly hated cows.
She might have. Bethany is over on Facebook. Thanks for watching on Facebook, you guys. She says, what about the loss of followers when you change the name? I just read that on eBay yesterday and it has me hesitant. Not that I have many followers. And I will address, I have often thought about changing my eBay store name to the Niche Lady or something. But because I have been established as utterly good stuff for literally decades, for me, I don't dare do that because I have so much tied to that. I mean, I have the URL. Everything is, that's how people know me. So for my selling business, I don't dare change that. If you're fairly new to this, if you haven't really done any marketing, you haven't really established yourself as a brand yet, and your current brand is maybe not working for you, that's when it makes more sense. You may, in the very short run, lose a little bit, but in the long run, gain so much more. So let's see. And I saw someone, yes, eBay IDs are all one word. eBay store names are an actual brand name. Hold on. I saw something and I was going to come back and address it. Chat. Okay. Right. It's here. Oh, so I wanted to address this. Kara says, I feel like I should make sure my sales are enough to justify paying for a store. Right now, I'm lucky I sell something every 3 months. And I will tell you, that's the backwards thinking because it is your store that makes you more searchable. It makes you more findable. It makes you more marketable. So I wanted to address that, and literally it is $5. We're talking a $5 investment to pretty much start a business, and get it out there.
And that's a write-off.
And it's a write-off. Exactly. It's a write-off. So Elizabeth says, my TikTok, Instagram, and Etsy store all called Reloved. So I wouldn't change now, but I guess it recovers because it covers the fact that I sell vintage stuff to Reloved. I love the name Reloved. I think that's fantastic. Why? I mean, I wouldn't even consider changing that. If you're selling vintage, reloved goods, let's talk about how that could be a story. Oops. Let's talk about how a name like Reloved, let's use her as a test subject and talk about how that can be woven out into social media marketing.
So the big thing about marketing is the story that you're telling. So if you find, don't put me by myself up here. So sharing the story of like the start to finish. So you find something from an estate sale or, an auction and have the backstory of what it is, where it came from, how it was loved previously, and then how it's going to be loved now. And that full kind of taking them to the finale of how you're giving it a new life and the sustainable, purpose of whatever the item is. That could be something that you highlight on your social media and why people come back to you, because they love that story that you're telling with the items.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it, we're selling stuff that people don't need. People they're not out shopping for, gosh, here, little guy, you can be my test subject. Nobody's out there like, oh my gosh, I need a turtle with like a moving head and feet. Like, I have to go find that today. No, this is something that, I'm browsing your store because you've got cool stuff and like, oh my gosh, I've got to have that. And then it's going to have a story attached to it. And so it's an emotional thing for people, like, versus, you know what, I need a pair of pants for work. And you know exactly what you need for work. That's more of a like non-emotional, just like I need to go find that thing. Whereas the vintage collectibles, that kind of stuff, you're filling people's little emotional voids. Like, we collect because it makes us feel good. And the beauty is that when you have this the vintage stuff gives you so much opportunity to tell the stories, because you aren't just selling like one thing or something boring. You're selling stuff that you can really tell the story. Give it a story. Because isn't that really what marketing is all about?
Yes, we just said that.
I mean, let's look at TV commercials, even though everybody kind of avoids them. And for those of you who sit through them on my channel, I appreciate you ever so much. But really, every single little 30-second commercial spot is a little mini story trying to get you emotionally attached to that thing they're selling to get you to buy. Accurate?
Sometimes it's just brand awareness to make sure that the next time, like, so fast food places do this, which is really interesting. They don't care about you buying directly right when they show you an ad, but they care about the next time you're hungry driving in your car, you remembered you saw 12 Taco Bell ads last week.
Yes.
So there's brand awareness.
And again, that's a commodity item. That's not like an emotional browsing purchase. That's a
Taco Bell is a very emotional.
They don't need to get you right that minute. Where we have somebody come over to our eBay listing, we need to reel them in.
But if you're building a community of people, you're no longer getting that impulse buy. You want them to buy from you because they like who you are, who your brand is, what you represent, what you stand for, what charities you give back to, what, contributions you're giving to everyone, in that community. If you're perfecting a giveaway item every once in a while, or, you have a card that you ship with your items that says, cool things that your store has done this month. Like, there's so many different ways to build that community.
Like Julia, Perfecting Pearl says, you're selling the experience or feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then within your descriptions, if you have a super vintage old item, and you know the origin of where it came from, or who made it, where it was made, what countries it traveled from, you know, the journey of that item to that person's house. How many times have you gone to someone's house and they've showed you like, oh, what's that cool thing on the shelf? And they're like, oh my gosh, I got this from, you know, Japan when I went to visit. And then, you know, the sculptor made it and handcrafted it for me. Like, that's the experience that they want with the items.
Exactly. People love stories. And really, even before you even get to that description, I know we talked about social media, but another place is to have a blog. You know, a lot of the stuff, when you guys are researching stuff, you're finding like a page on somebody's blog where they wrote an article about that item. Well, we're doing it for resale purposes, but remember, customers are doing that too. And that's what drives them over, is they do a search for that item they're interested in, and up comes this article, and they go read the article, and oh, if you have a link to go buy that item, all the better. So a blog is a great place to put that stuff.
I want to preface, don't get caught up with all of the ideas. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram to be successful. Pick one. Start with one thing that you're good at and like doing. Because if you're doing a bunch of things and feel like you have to keep up with all of them, you're not going to do any of them well, and none of them are going to get traction for you. So start small.
And know who your target customer is. If you're targeting middle-aged and older women, they're not on Instagram. I mean, a few of us are, but no, different social media platforms attract a different demographic. So understanding who it is you want to come over and buy your stuff is super important. So what do you think sells best on Instagram?
Clothes. Clothing.
Really?
100%.
I would not have thought that.
Recently, Instagram just came out announcing that they're no longer a image platform. They are a video platform, which is changing up a lot of the algorithms and how things work on the app. So Facebook and Instagram are actually the two most volatile places to start up and maintain a successful marketing campaign on, because of how many changes the algorithm is going through and how the customers or the users are confused at what's happening and how many different options. Like, there's Reels, IGTV, stories, you know, feed posts, carousel posts, and there's just too much going on right now. But I would suggest Pinterest, if anything, because it's keyword and it pulls up in search engines. So any of those keywords of collectible items, home decor, placing the object or item within a scene, all of those things will help you gain more traction, and you don't have to put out and spend time putting effort into videos and coming up with hashtags and researching and trying to keep up with the ever-changing algorithm. That's a really good one.
I'm looking over at an eBay listing, because it used to be you could share to Pinterest right from your listing, and I don't see it anymore.
Well, you can link your photo directly to.
You can link, yeah, but there used it used to be just the click of a button, and it appears to be gone. Well, thank you for that, eBay. Another great change that you've made. You guys remember when you could do that, but I tell you, Pinterest does frustrate me though, because a lot of times I'll find the exact item and it's a Pinterest link, and I click over and then boop, this item is no longer available.
Yeah,
that kind of makes me crazy.
Building your consistency of your store is so important, because Pinterest recognizes the bounce rate. Once you click through to something, will stop showing the item less and less on the search rankings. So if your bounce rate is low, meaning people stay on the page longer that they click through to, it will show your images higher and higher.
Yeah.
So
and
don't
Tommy in Seattle says
something general and then link it to something else. Post the exact thing leading to the exact thing that you're selling.
Yeah. Tommy in Seattle says, on Posh, all my listings are shared to Pinterest when I list. So that's awesome.
That's good, but the keywords are not there.
It's true.
So you have to do an additional step to make sure that the keywords are set up correctly.
Okay, did we have a question? The chat's going really fast, guys. I'm trying to grab these questions. Okay, does Facebook Marketplace, I'm assuming you're meaning, put your items on your personal page and Facebook Marketplace? And I don't think it, I mean, I think there is a setting that you can share it to your personal page. But I think it's a choice. And then you have to decide.
Marketplace is about Facebook, not about you.
Yeah, and you have to decide, do you want to lose? And when I say lose relationships, I don't mean like in real life lose relationships, but lose people who would otherwise be interested in what you're posting by putting all of your marketplace things into your timeline, and then they go, hey, I don't want to see this anymore. They stop interacting with your posts, which means that Facebook stops showing them your, like, is it worth it to put that on your personal timeline versus, as I saw someone said, make a Facebook business page. Your business can have a page. Just don't get sucked into all of the boosting and spending money stuff.
The Facebook groups are actually one of the best tools right now within Facebook. Creating a group, offering that to anyone that has purchased from you, having a collaborative, discussion on what they did with the item afterwards, prompting them to tell you the story of how they're using their item.
Yeah. I have created several groups in the past, but my problem is just maintaining more than just my main group. It's almost a full-time job in and of itself. So groups can get a little intensive if they get really busy. It's important to have good moderators. I will say that. I think I have some of the best ones out there. But it's still a job. Facebook. So
we should also talk about how to sell on these platforms, because it's very important when you are reaching out to people, letting them know you have things for sale, that you're not just trying to sell to them. And that's where content pillars come in. And this is getting way deep into the weeds of marketing, but basically you want to have a rule of thirds. For 1 out of every 3 posts, you can sell something. 1 out of every 3 posts, you want to humanize yourself and the brand. And 1 out of every 3 posts, you want to address your client's pain point directly. So depending on what that pain point is, it could be, they are looking for, home decor. They want to brighten their home experience, they want to find that fashionable outfit. They're looking for a more sustainable, solution for X. Those are the 3 content pillars you kind of want to generalize through all of your marketing.
So you and I actually started working together when I was interested in getting on Instagram, because Instagram was, I think I speak for a lot of us. We know it exists. We know it's a thing. We look at it, but we don't know. And you even said it's very complex with all the different pieces. So, for me, it was like just even getting on Instagram was intimidating. And I think a lot of my viewers would be interested in just maybe like a quick rundown of just a basic start on Instagram to start building a following.
So Instagram is a very visual platform. So you have to have high quality, stop putting me by myself. You have to have high quality videos or images to start. So, and maintaining the consistency is actually the most important part. Having high quality images and videos is the second. To gain any traction, it's going to take you a couple months of posting daily or more. And it's a very intensive 3 posts on your feed per week, and then 5 to 10 story posts per day, and then a reel or an IGTV.
The story thing.
Yeah. So getting traction on Instagram can be beneficial. It just takes a lot of time commitment up front and a lot of getting your face on camera and understanding, remembering to pull out your camera when you're doing an update, remembering to kind of get that glimpse of throughout the day what you're doing and putting that out there.
Well, for product sales, does it have to be your face, or can it be something about the product you're selling? I know a lot of people don't like
the product you're selling as well. It doesn't do as well on Instagram if you don't have any type of face or model of, it's a facial recognition thing, I think, within the platform.
Okay.
One, and then just two, people have to either see themselves in whatever you're doing or have to see the relatable face to place themselves within there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like you can do flat lays of clothing that look like they're on a body so that people can imagine themselves and what they would look like wearing it.
Yeah. And you're thinking clothing and I'm thinking just like stuff.
Right. But so let's talk about stuff then. So it has to be, if they were standing first person view in a room looking at that object, it can't just be the object with a white background, like it would be in a display photo on eBay. It's got to be a whole immersive experience of them basically seeing it from their own eyes.
Okay. So what's the difference between stories and reels?
So Instagram. So a reel is something that stays in your feed. And I'm gonna pull up my Instagram really fast just so you can see. So up here, up at the top, you have your story feed. These are all of your people that you're following. And a story stays on your feed for 24 hours. And then it disappears forever. And then it's gone. But a reel is like a TikTok, basically. It's a little bit longer and it stays in your actual profile feed longer. That's the difference.
See, I don't like that whole going away thing.
The benefit is you can give more updates on a daily basis to stay relevant and engaged and top of mind of people without actually having to have as high quality content, because putting content on your feed has to be engaging, enriching. It's got to fight out all the other super high quality photos and videos on Instagram. But your story posts, once someone is following you and watches your story continuously, it'll be put to the front of their feed list every single time. So it doesn't have to be as high quality. It can just be updates throughout the day or, new sale launch, new product or something like that.
Just something that keeps your name in front of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Julie's saying, reels stay in your feed. And then you guys, I'm like, Instagram is I'm still figuring out Instagram. But somebody said there's requirements before you can sell on Instagram. Do you know what those are?
You have to have a business account. You have to have, I think, a certain amount of following and apply for the, what's it called? Store. But the benefit from there is people can buy directly from the image. But that's only beneficial to put in that much effort if you have either really high value items or multiple of the same item. Because
thank you for saying that, because there is the time element that you have to look at. Is it worth it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then are you already getting the traction and engagement you want off of your photos?
So Vintage and Vino asks, how do I build an advertisement billboard on Instagram? For instance, advertising a live sale on YouTube.
So you can do this through the Facebook advertising platform. Super easy to set up, kind of. But also one of the most complex things you'll ever do in your life because there's too many options. But basically, you can make a promo image or video within Canva, export that, and then send it over to Facebook advertising to promote. I would suggest not doing this unless you have a lot of time to spend on testing on what target audience you're going to do, because that's going to be the key component of running an advertisement. You can't just spend $10 anymore and get a bunch of people to sign up for your live sale. It'll be spend $10 and maybe you get 5 people to view your ad, and a couple click through. So be very careful before diving into the world of paid advertisements on social media.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it can suck away a lot of money really fast. I know. I haven't done it for my, product stuff, but I've done it for, selling event tickets and that kind of thing. And before you know it, because Facebook is good at marketing to you, up to X amount of people are going to see this post and it never, ever, ever comes. But the language they use is up to, so.
Over the last 2 years, I believe the price has doubled for the engagement. So that's kind of big.
Julie asks, can you repeat what you said about how many posts, etc., on Instagram each day?
So this was the old standard before they released the information that they are becoming a video platform. So it may not be as beneficial to you, but it's 3 to 5 posts on your feed and then 5 to 10 daily on your stories. But reels and videos and Instagram, IGTV have a higher weight to them now as far as posts, because they're trying to incentivize people to post more videos on the platform to make it a video heavy platform. You can also go live on Instagram, which isn't as great. It's not great. Don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. But
and I think I want to go back to what you said too. It's like, I'm doing a show today that is all about marketing on social media. I am not advocating that you go spend hours now delving into all the different things you can do on social media if it's going to take you away from your revenue generating activities of listing and such. So you really need to be disciplined in how much time you spend working on your social media for your business. And at some point, it comes to the reality that you say, you know what, I need to get somebody to do this piece for me. How would you recommend someone find someone to help them with their marketing on social media?
So the general consensus of people your age, I'm not going to say old people, I'm not going to do it. But generally people saying anybody that has an Instagram or social media knows how to operate them for a business. And that is the biggest misconception that you can go down that path. It takes actually a lot of time and research and understanding of SEO and keywords and just kind of audience targeting to be able to have engagement on your posts and actually turn into revenue and KPIs and showing you results as far as your sales. So before you're ready to really invest in starting your social media, make sure you have a reputable agency or consulting person that has experience in business with social media. Or something that I've done in the past is I've helped newly start out marketing individuals and coach them on how to do it to get them up to the speed. So it's a little bit cheaper initially. And then they know they can rely on me as a resource for the nitty gritty technical questions. I can't talk today. So that you can get a intern or someone fresh out of college or high school who understands the basics of how the platform works and technology, but doesn't understand marketing yet and can be molded into that marketer for your business.
Awesome. Kara says her brain hurts.
It's a lot.
Mine hurts all the time from this stuff.
So let's do some Q&A of what's something you want to promote and how we can do that easily, because there's so many things other than social media and little tiny things that you can incorporate into your brand now to build up to getting into social media.
I just want to address Elizabeth Smith says, I got my original followers by finding items similar to what I sell and followed the people who liked it. I get them organically now. And maybe you can explain why that works.
So there is a process. That's basically my process of finding people as well. So you go to your competitor's page and engage with the people that have liked their pictures. So you go to their pages, like their pictures, comment on their pictures. And this is the time-consuming part of finding organic followers, but it is the right way. You are doing the right thing. So go to a picture of your competitor. If you scroll down, you'll see the comments.
And let me just say, for those who don't know that the term organic, that simply means it happens naturally. You didn't pay for it. You didn't, boost it or push it. Organic means that it just kind of happens because of things you're doing.
And someone said, sounds like Poshmark. Yes, you can do the same thing for Poshmark. The people that are liking and engaging on those pieces of clothing, you can engage with them to lead them to your store.
Awesome. Okay. So then you said, go back. What were you? I'm like melting. So my brain is overheating right now.
Okay, so we can talk about some of the basic things that I had told you initially that I wanted to start incorporating into your sales.
Okay. Yeah.
Leading people to like having an insert every time you ship something with either a discount code for another purchase or leading them to your next live sale.
And in case anybody doesn't know, did you know eBay just recently implemented coupons? You can create a custom coupon for your customers to insert in your packages or put out on your social media. Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, Elizabeth Smith said 70% of her eBay traffic comes through her Instagram. Etsy. What's your Instagram handle? Etsy traffic still.
Yeah.
But what's your Instagram? Let's take a look at it.
Okay, what's your Instagram, Elizabeth? If you want to be our guinea pig. Oh my gosh, it's so hot in this house.
But having some sort of branded insert in your package when they receive it, so they remember that recognition of, oh, I shopped at this store. This is where I got this. Or they can give that coupon to a friend and then you get their friend's engagement. So you have to tell them what you want them to do exactly to come back to you. Otherwise they forget. They're going to hold on to that coupon for maybe like a week.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, you guys have to remember, you are not the only one selling that thing. Like there is a whole pool of those things out there. So you have to give people a reason to buy from you, a relationship, a connection, a perk. There's got to be something. Okay, let's face it. We are a very, very selfish society. There has to be something in it for us. Like it's all about what's in it for me if I buy from you.
And then we should talk about email because email is king.
Reloved mid-century. Let me see if I can pull it up here and then share the screen. I think I found you. Oh, and I'm not following her yet. We have to change that. Okay, let me share my screen.
Your page is doing really well.
There you go.
So I have this plugin that tells me your engagement rate, and you have a 3.18 engagement rate. Your average like is 31 per image. You have 2 comments per photo, which I would want to increase, but it's pretty good. And then, I don't know if this is correct, but it's saying 16 posts per week. Let me know if that's correct.
So I have a question for you based on what she was saying about following other people. So now I just hit follow and it suggested all of these other people. Is there a benefit for me to then go in and follow these suggestions?
I would look at the pages first, but I would say yes. This is the people. So this is what happens when you follow someone. It gives you suggestions. Oh, follow more people. You're in a following mood. Go follow these people that you also might like. Benefit, yes, if you're looking to track down more people to get more engagement of your post. So basically, what you want to do is, if you click on someone's profile and then you scroll down to a post. So click on a post. Okay, now look at the people who have commented. Okay, so you can either like their comment on this post or go to now that person's page and comment on their pictures. And then you do that like 100 times.
Okay. And do you recommend, like, I go in and I heart like every comment
When it happens, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
on my
benefit, you want to reply to every single comment that you get. Do not like the comment.
Okay.
Yes, replying is important, but do not like the comment until you post your next post.
Oh.
Does that make sense? So like the previous post comments when you post your next post, but reply to them when they happen.
Okay. I love that. See, that just sparked an emotion in me. I saw that and I'm like, woo! If I wasn't doing a show, I might have to go click over and look at that baby.
So I would suggest adding more, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to put a call to action in your description. So you want to ask the viewer a question. What would you use this for? Where can you see this in your kitchen? Something that asks them a question that they would then comment.
Yeah. So, and I would, okay, if you're open to some tips here, Reloved, is it Elizabeth? And that's one of the first things that Jordan taught me was, ask a question. Kind of, because you are only getting about 2 comments, and you can watch and see what happens. It's like, even like on this piece going, just correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan. It's like, do you like these colors or prefer something more like the wallpaper, or, to get people to say something? I mean, that's just what came to my brain because I saw like the browns in the background.
And this isn't tearing down anything you've done. This is great that you've built this much. Your engagement rate should be over a 2. That's kind of what you're targeting. And how you calculate that is how many posts that you've got divided by total engagement. So comments and likes. So you're doing great as far as engagement. If you want to increase that and heighten that and get more traction, include more questions and more targeted descriptions in your captions.
Like, what would be a question she could ask, like, on this post?
What is it? I'm trying to.
It's an alligator.
It's a nutcracker. It's a nutcracker.
Oh, he's a nutcracker. Okay.
Do you need this guy to take a bite out of your charcuterie board? I'm not entirely sure. This is be on the spot like that.
Here, we'll give you an easier one.
So I see, I'm looking at your hashtags now. We're past me trying to spitball.
Yeah, and that's where I was going next, is into the hashtag.
So you're using a lot of general hashtags. I'm not sure if you've done any specific hashtag research, but you can use between 5 and 15 hashtags on a post. And you want to use hashtags that have a mid-range of about 50,000 to 200,000 posts within them. And let me see if I can pull up the Excel sheet that I made for you, Mom.
Is this is it a box? It's a box.
So I can't really tell that it's a box. It looks like a sign. So I would.
Yeah, I thought it was a sign at first too.
Show some depth, but I really like that you have a background. It's very colorful and bright. I would suggest maybe putting it in the scene.
Right, setting it on that little brick wall kind of thing.
Right, because like the offset makes it a little bit like difficult to see initially. I like the contrast, and it's like a dark against a light background.
I'm jealous of that backyard right now.
It's very pretty.
Just saying. Hey, real quick. So Vintage and Vino says every reseller I know on YouTube has a big following on Instagram. Are you sure Instagram is as young people driven as you're saying?
Young people as in millennial my age.
Yeah.
I would say 25 to 35 is the average age of someone on Instagram. But as a platform gains more business traction, so more advertisements in the feed and more focused on generating revenue, the higher the age goes up. So Instagram is on that rise.
And something to remember, just because there are middle-aged people on Instagram and different places doesn't mean that it's not still predominantly the choice of a certain group. Instagram is the millennials' choice for social media. Just like Facebook is still the choice for your middle-aged and older people. And I think that a lot of that has to do, it's familiar. Like, I'll speak from personal, like, I know it. I've been doing it so long. I don't have to learn anything on it. Whereas Instagram, I'm like, I'm doing it, but I gotta learn it, and I'm not like flowing with it, like I can with Facebook, kind of a thing. Doesn't mean they're not there. It's just like certain stores have a certain demographic. Doesn't mean different demographics don't shop there, but it's the majority. It's the majority.
And to your point, Elizabeth, I saw that you said you posted 3 photos. That's called a carousel. Carousels are not performing as well at all. That's like the bottom performing type of post now. So I would suggest using video to show the dimension and depth of something over images now. So just heads up there. Let me show you. Can I share my screen? Is that a possibility?
I don't know. You got to give me a website. You got to give me something.
Wait. Yes, I can.
See, I think that's where IG is headed now. The baby boomers are taking over. Move on to TikTok, millennials.
Can you see my screen?
Look, I can. Look at that.
So this may look intimidating at first. Don't worry, it's not. I have.
Can you blow it? Can you blow it up a little bit?
We got bad eyes over here. I don't know. Can
I enlarge it? It's just that StreamYard shrinks it so much.
I cannot zoom.
Can you do Control Plus?
I'm on a Mac, Mom.
Okay, sorry.
Here, I'll send you the link and you open it.
Okay. Where are you sending it?
That? That's a good question. I don't know.
Where are you sending it to me?
Can I put it in the chat? Private chat.
That's private chat.
Private chat. Okay. Technical difficulties.
Okay. Oh, I need access.
Well, then request access.
Okay, I just requested access. Access denied. Stand by.
Okay, make me stop sharing my screen.
This is. Should I be able to open it now? I can. Okay, I got it. Hold on. Okay. Stand by. There we go.
Okay.
And now I can do Control++.
So when you're researching
There we
hashtags,
go.
this is kind of how you want to categorize them. So you want to use a couple of the low, mostly mid, and very few of the high when you're adding to your post. And then
so should you okay, so my brand, and I know we've been working on my brand, should I be using a same grouping of hashtags and then along with more relevant to the post?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want like your staple of like 10 that you add to everything that are relevant to all of them, and then 5 that are very specific to that post.
Got it.
If you go over to the hashtag section.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. So no hashtag.
So I'm going to kind of watch anybody over here who has like some last minute. Obviously, we cannot cover everything in an hour, but this should give you a little start, a little like if you've been putting it off. And I want to circle back to what we talked about is you are building a brand now. Like if you are just counting on eBay or Etsy, or wherever you sell to drive you that traffic, that is no longer what is taking place. We have to proactively push traffic to our venues. And I know I'm probably like, I get this comment at least 5 times a day, every time I release a video. Well, you sell more because you have a YouTube channel. And I will tell you, that's probably true because I'm driving traffic to my store, and anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. And YouTube doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that you have to create thrifting videos. It doesn't mean that you have to create educational videos. Something someone taught me about YouTube once. Remember, YouTube is the #2 search engine. YouTube's a search engine. Notice when you Google, one of the first results that comes up is a video. They want to give you video answers. So remember this. Answer a question your customer would ask. So if you sell glass, how do I tell the difference between art glass and pressed glass? Whatever the thing is, whatever your specialty niche is, think about the questions people would type into a search engine related to what you sell. Because then they ask their question in Google, it brings up your video, they come watch your video, and oh, look, there's a link to your item right there attached to your video when they come shop from you. So that's another way to build up and drive traffic. You don't have to be on video to answer a question on video. So,
or hire someone to give you content ideas and then just go do them. If this is making you for hire, squirrel, I am for hire. I actually
for hire.
Am available. I do have a service where I can basically do what I did for, you're over here. Do what I did for the niche lady, put a branding guide for you together, give you some content examples, do some keyword research for you, do some hashtag research, give you some advice on your marketing. If you're trying to build an email list, I can help you build the email list, set up templates, set up Canva templates, kind of walk you through, guide you how to be more sufficient in marketing. So it's not this overwhelming monster that you have to tackle. But I will put Jordan's contact information down in the description of this video for anybody who's interested in reaching out to her. I feel like half your viewers already have my cell phone number, Mom. So I know. Real quick, for eBay, we use white background for photos. Do we need to stage them for Instagram? And staging with a white background is also an option if you're adding different elements for a flat lay. If you don't know what a flat lay is, you can Google it. But basically, just like making it a more depth, not just the object by itself. It's more of a depth
Elizabeth wants to know where you found all of that info and percentages for her Instagram.
It is a plugin called WeFind. You can add it to Chrome.
WeTime?
WeFind.
Oh, WeFind. WeFind. I guess I gotta get that too. You want to talk about Linktree? We just lost Jordan. She pushed a button on that Mac. Okay, let's see if she comes back. There she is. Where'd you go?
No, I clicked a button.
That's what I said. She pushed a button. Kara says, don't forget about Linktree.
Linktree is actually no longer supported on a lot of platforms. So you can create a website, you can create a Linktree from Canva and use that instead. But Linktree is recognized as a bad link a lot of times. So
okay, well, it's good to know because I know a lot of people are using Linktree.
Yeah, you want to get away from Linktree and create it in Canva.
There we go. So Orange Ted Vintage Hunter says, I'm a bit overwhelmed by all this, but it teaches me what I don't know but need to. Thank you. And that's the thing with anything that you guys do, with anything you're doing with your eBay. Like a lot of you haven't even like started selling on eBay yet, you know, because of that kind of looking at this whole big thing that has to be accomplished and going, it's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. And I would say break it down into bite-sized pieces that you can start, because I can assure you, you will not get anywhere that you want to go if you don't start somewhere. So little starts are better than no starts.
And if you need an accountability partner, yes, that's how you spell Canva.
Canva.com. So I am getting some views, but no sales. Offering best offer and 60-day returns. How often do people make an offer? And Angela, like that's a whole like eBay question. And I would encourage those kind of questions we answer every single day over in the Niche to Profit Facebook group. I run that group. I'm in there answering questions like every day, as well as some pretty amazing experienced sellers. So come over there and ask that question. We can give you a much more in-depth answer than we can in the, we're already 2 minutes over. I'm interested, Jordan. I'm going to start in 2022. I do have a good size following from when I was an active professional decorative artist and author, but why wait to 2022? That's still 6 months away. 6 months
and honestly,
away.
if you have the time to stockpile content and come up with, you know, that timeline, you get ahead, because coming up with content every single month can be time consuming, especially once you start getting in the process of listing and sourcing and shipping.
And with anything, consistency is the key. Consistency. I mean, even if you're...
email, put my email in the comments. jordanlux2@gmail.com.
Jordanlux2. Oops. If I could type. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. Can you guys see this? I'm like, my face, I can't even see. It's dripping into my eyes. It's so hot.
Glistening.
I'm glistening.
So if you need help with, I can help you set up your Canva templates. I can help you, you know, get to a stage that you need. I have different price brackets for a bunch of different services just to get you up and running. So
yeah, and like Donna says, do I have content? Yeah, and that content could be completely irrelevant in 6 months.
Yeah.
So content is it's got a lifespan. You know, you got to use it while you got it. It would be like me shopping at some big flea market here in Vegas and then not releasing the video for 6 months. It would be, yeah, you'd still watch the video, but it wouldn't be as relevant as like when I did it and I got the stuff and I got the stuff for sale and I'm, you know, so I'm just saying. What time do you appear on daily Facebook? Judy, are you asking me, or I'm not sure what your question is.
Is that about the Facebook group? Asking
Yeah, the
questions
group
about
is
the Facebook
ongoing.
group?
Like there's no set times. I release a video on YouTube at 3 p.m. Pacific time every single day, except Mondays and Fridays. But that could change too. So yeah. All right, guys. We are at the top of the hour. I have to go make sure all of my animals are still. So I think I'm going to put ice in my little portable coolers. I think that's going to help if I do that. So I'm going to go get ice. So right now it's just like cool water in there, and it's not cold enough.
I leave for model camp on Friday.
Oh, that's right. That is right. And so many of the people that are right here in this chat are responsible for helping you get to that goal. So I just want to say thank you again for supporting Jordan. And for those that don't know, Jordan is my daughter. So yeah, she's going to give us a full report from Coca Rocha Modeling Camp in New York, Friday. How exciting is that?
It kind of snuck up on me. I don't think I'm prepared at all in any way, shape, or form. So
You'll be fine. You're my daughter. You'll get through it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. And like I said, come over to the Facebook group. Come ask your questions, your follow-up over there. If you're watching this on the replay and you've made it to this point, please feel free to leave your comments down below as well. And with that, everyone, go be profitable and make it fun. And we'll see you on the next one.